the prophet Yirmiyahu Hanavi, he was talking about the Jewish people. And in the 11th chapter, Yirmiyahu Yud Aleph Pasuk Tezayin, he tells us that the Jewish people, Zayis Ra'anan, they are like a beautiful olive tree. Yefei Piri To'ar Kara Hashem Shemech. Hashem called Jewish people like an olive. Why an olive? Why dafka that which produces oil? What is so special about an olive? And the Midrash in Shemos Rabbah Lamed Vav Aleph tells us, why did Yirmiyah tell us that the Jewish people are like olives? And he says something, and try it out with your children and grandchildren. Try it tomorrow, while Chanukah is still with us. They will never forget it, and you won't forget it either. Take a glass tomorrow, and put in some water, and put in some orange juice. And of course, the orange juice and the water are going to mix. But then put in some oil, and you'll see an amazing thing that will happen. This oil with the water and the orange juice is not going to mix with the water and the orange juice. The oil will rise to the top. And when the children see it, and you see it, you won't forget it. You could hear it in the Medrash. But when you see it actually happen, you will understand why Yirmiyahu said the Jewish people are like olives and oil. You know why? Because we separate. We're different than the nations of the world. Tonight, which is the night of New Year's Eve, all over the world, people are drinking, celebrating, and doing anything but learning Torah. Look at us. People said to me, nobody's coming here tonight. Everybody's going to New Year's parties. I said, it's not true. The Beit Gabriel people are holy. They're coming to learn tonight. You can deserve a round of applause. Give yourselves a round of applause. And that's what it means, that you rise to the top. That's what Yirmiyahu is saying. And how special it is tonight, the final night of Chanukah, that Jewish people should come together to learn Torah, to be able to be inspired, and to rise, and to be different than the whole world. Especially tonight, Hashem has made it that we should feel good about ourselves and feel pride and be proud that we are Jewish people, that on a night when the whole world is partying, we are partying with the Torah and we are learning what it means to be so special. And so before we start the whole lecture, I want to give every one of us a bracha. Everyone, including myself. You know what David HaMelech says in Tehillim, in the 128th chapter, Kuf Chav Ches Gimel. Bonecha, he says, your children should be kishesile zeisim, like olive plants, saviv l'shulchanecha, around your table. And of course, many of the commentaries, Rab David Kimchi, the Radak, says, why are Jewish children? Why did David HaMelech bless them? That they should be like olives? And he says, you know why? Because olives are always fresh and vibrant, and they're always in season. And that's what we wanted our children should be. Fresh and vibrant and lebedik and alive and excited and always in season. Not every fruit is in season, but we want our children always to be at the top of their game, so to speak. And that's what olives are. And that's the bracha that we give each other tonight when we lit the final candle, the 8th candle. And I want to tell you something. Really, I was thinking of ending with this, but I am so excited about this that I can't wait to the end. Do you know what Rabbi Ovadia Yosef says? It's unbelievable. Only he could think of it. He says, you know what Mashiach stands for? Mem, Shin, Yud, Ches. Madlikin, Shemonat, Yemei, Chanukah. Isn't that, it's just wow, it's amazing, right? Chanukah's been around since, 1,000 years at least, right? And he thought about it. Tonight's the night. Who knows? Maybe Mashiach's getting ready to come tomorrow morning. Right? Mashiach, Madlikin Shemonat Yemei Chanukah. On this holy day of Zois Chanukah. That's what we read in the Torah tomorrow. That's what Rabbi Vadia, Zecher Tzadik Livracha, is telling us. That when Jews celebrate Chanukah in the proper way, and they light the candles, and they see the light, what is the true light of Jewish people? We know Kiner Mitzvah V'Torah Or. Every mitzvah is a candle. But you know something? I once heard something amazing. What happens when you have a terrible wind? It's going to blow out a candle, right? So no matter what mitzvah you do, sometimes outside influences, the outside winds could have an effect. Materialism, immorality, secularism. But what happens when the winds come against a big fire? Rahman al-Itzlan, we saw it last night. Those of you who know in Kew Garden Hills, there was a terrible, terrible fire. And why were they fighting the fire for hours? Because of the winds. When the winds come and there's a fire, it spreads even more. And when there is the fire of Torah, Kiner Mitzvah V'Torah Or, and the winds come from the outside world, the Torah spreads even more because we become determined. And when all of you come here tonight, on a night that every one of you could have gone to parties, and every one of you could have found an excuse not to come to this holy Beis Medrash, and you came, that's how we're spreading Torah. That's what Rabbi Vadia Yosef would be so happy, and that's what he would say, that's the beginning of Mashiach, because Madlik and Shemonat Yemei Chanukah.